Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Am I the only one who has been wondering why, despite the fact that Kenya Kwanza team are normally portray themselves as close to the church, but they've never attended a church service at Margaret Wanjiru's Jesus is Alive ministries, despite the fact that Margaret Wanjiru is one of their own, and initially Margaret Wanjiru was vying for Senate against other candidate, but officially she was handed the UDA ticket. Why is William Ruto avoiding Margaret Wanjiru's church? Secondly, for better part of the Kenya Kwanza's campaigns, they've been attending church services, especially the Sunday rallies, church services in central Kenya, and some parts of Western. But as the campaign enters its home stretch, they have reduced church engagements in Western Kenya and also in Rift Valley. In fact, they were never so much strong when engaging the churches in Rift Valley. That is an indicator, because the last time William Ruto was engaging a church was in January, after they went to the Musalia Mudavadi in Vihiga, and it was, I think, homecoming rally of Musalia Mudavadi. He used that opportunity to say that he had stopped donating to the churches. Now, yesterday, the 5th of May, that was on Sunday, they held a church service in Kabete in Anglican churches of Kenya. They held that. Then after the church service, they also went and attended another one in Kawangware. I happened to had followed a bit of that, and there are two videos that captured my attention, because the presiding pastor there, I don't know the name, took an opportunity. He's the person that welcomed Deputy President, but then he took an opportunity to explain in details his relationship with William Ruto, and also had sort of some bombshell. I want us to look at that. But before it, if you want to understand that the relationship between the Kenya Kwanza team and the church was a political campaign relationship, I want you to watch this clip, because now, if you watch this clip, when William Ruto arrived in that place for the church service, when the cameraman was, I think, rolling, by mistake, he took a shot of where the church, there is this monumental signboard where the church, when the church was being launched, and beside that, there was a campaign poster. Kwa kanisa. Now, I don't want to be hearsay, because sometimes people might think you're just saying. Let's look at this video here.
Our brothers, our sisters, our parents, Lord, we pray for your healing. Come and heal. There are some who are sick in our village. We speak the word of healing. There are
How are you,
Praise the Lord this afternoon. Can we put our hands together?
A church poster ama banner imewekwa. Now, what even happened outside? So if you realize, because Ole Sapit had already ordered the Anglican Church to make sure that politicians are not politicking in the pulpit, then that is why the event was held, the service was held outside. It was actually outside the church, and I hope you have seen the building. Now, I wanted to watch this other one here. This is a clip of this this pastor explaining to Deputy President talking about some two things. One is on approach by the State House for him to mobilize some pastors in Kiambu, allegedly to counter the influence of William Ruto in Kiambu. Secondly, he's talking about his last engagement with the deputy president. Of course, he's saying something there. And now pay attention to the tone of that speech. Then let's just, I wanted to listen to that. Then after that, we'll try to dissect more on his speech.
For us, categorically, we don't have any fear. And we always speak without any fear. Kwanza mimi nilikuwa mmoja katika kanisa la Kianglikana. Juzi nimeambiwa nipatiane mawaidha. Askofu akasema nipatiane mawaidha kwa jamaa mmoja ambaye alikuwa ametumwa kwa Clergy Forum ya Kiambu County. Tutafuta hawa wachungaji ni wapeleke State House, kwa sababu nikauliza reason are we going to State House. Nikaambiwa na yule ambaye alikuwa ametumwa na mchungaji ati kwa sababu huyu ameingia kanisa sana, huyu tujue vile tutagangana na yeye. Mimi nikaambiwa mimi, lakini kwa sababu alikuwa ametumwa kwangu na askofu nimpatie mawaidha, nikamwambia hiyo haiwezi ikawa reversed. Wale walishindwa kujua ufalme wa Mungu uko wapi kitambo. Sasa wanang'ang'ana the last minute, which is not possible. Msidanganywe. Deputy President, kwa sababu ulinionyesha picha kwako nyumbani, Karen, kama unakumbuka. Ukibebea mchungaji wa AIC mfuko. As an evangelist. And let me remind you what you told me. You told me, even if you don't become the president of this nation, you become an evangelist. That's what you told me. Na tumeongea hapa na wachungaji. Haki wewe unapaswa kuwa mchungaji. You know the verses, you know the Bible in and out, and for us in Kenya, sisi watu wa Kenya tunaamini Mungu. Sisi miungu hatuijui na haituwezi. Kwa hivyo msiwe na wasiwasi, endeleeni kwa maombi na sisi tuendelee kwa maombi. Wakati nimepatiana hiyo mawaidha haiwezekani, wachungaji wakawa wananiuliza when are you going to the State House? Nikauliza kufanya nini? Hiyo mambo tulimaliza. Sasa niwaambie leo deputy wakiwa hapa, mkitaka kwenda Ikulu mngojee tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, tutaenda kuomba na wao. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio sisi tunaamini.
Now guys, if you listen to that, it's a very interesting statement from the man of God there. However, why I decided to pick that and why I really paid attention to it was, one, this is not new. It is not the first time that you are seeing members of the clergy equipped to play politics in the pulpit. Some time back, there was also another team that met deputy president, and the next day they came out and endorsed, saying that the church should go to vote for deputy president because for the first time church has a candidate. So it is not something that is new, but to what is you can find out from that clip is there is what I can call indoctrination of politics in church. Why they will come and mention crammed Bible verses. Then after that, now there is what I normally like. Please get this also.
Neno la Mungu kwa Zaburi 20 mstari wa 7 inasema, wengine wameweka imani yao kwa farasi za vita, lakini sisi tumeweka imani yetu kwa Mungu.
So one thing you will appreciate is there is the space of church in this election. That is, I think that is what the church, that is what you can find out, that the church is playing a very critical role. The good man of God is saying that he received a call from State House and he did not work on it. I don't know if there is truth to that, but then what I wanted to look at is why I have a feeling that religious posturing before the congregants might not be an effective way to convince consequential number of voters in this election. That will be very interesting, and that's what I want us to look at. But kindly subscribe to our channel. And my good brother Balozi Media has new song. Check out Balozi Media in YouTube and support his ministry. Because first, if you look at their politics, their confrontational strategy in campaigns, where almost every speaker after the other must always come to attack the other person. In fact, they're very predictable. That William Ruto takes charge of the microphone after the clergy gives them the opportunity. It's either in church or even in rallies. It's the same script. After him, he has to call Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua has to attack either Raila Odinga or President Uhuru Kenyatta. Then you have to call also Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi must say how the deep state is going to rig them out. Then you need to bring Moses Kuria to bring the ambiguous language and at least find one or two people to abuse. And that kind of approach is not good for the church environment, because it's actually bringing even divisions. Like, what we have to agree is not everyone who attends loves, not everyone who attends is attending in like Sasa Anapenda because of that Deputy President William Ruto. The confrontational approach will work against them. Now, the other thing that I can also find out is that the religious posturing is just a transactional politics in the pulpit. The transactional politics is this way. Some of these church elders, or let us just call them church leaders, they receive tokens or they receive stipend from the politicians. Now, the kind of stipend they receive, it goes to their own pocket. Not little of that will go to development of the church, will go to maybe support a worthy cause in the church, like supporting maybe the vulnerable, supporting the children, or even the widows at the church. It goes to their own pocket. Now, even the people that are members of a church, the congregation knows very well that because Deputy President William Ruto was in our church previous Sunday, our pastor or our church leader got money. But not because that money is not money that can, it's not shareable. They're not shares. So it's not shareable to the church congregants. Let me just remember, sometime I used to be in Dagoretti and a fight broke in my own church because of money politics. And just an area MP came and visited the area. After visiting the area, I visited the church. The following Sunday, hell broke loose because people were fighting for that money. Now, because of that transactional politics, people know that they have given money and has gone to the pockets of the clergy. Now, thirdly, I want to say that it will be inconsequential, or rather the significant number of voters that can be influenced by that are few, because it's only the small churches that are vulnerable to political manipulation. If you look at the mainstream churches, they're playing critical role in mediation, both pre and post-election mediation efforts. There was some time last year where part of the clergy were imploring on Deputy President to reconcile with his boss. But I think even though William Ruto came out public to say he was ready, I have a feeling that the president did not feel that was the right thing for him to do at that time. So, because of the mediation role of the church, the Kenya Kwanza team might then hatch to work with the small churches in between, but that would not be so much into it. This is because the use of the church, or rather the use of the clergy, is prone to state interception. Any effort can be intercepted by the church. Recently, when President Uhuru Kenyatta was going to Murang'a, there was a big drama where a church had invited William Ruto. They wanted, allegedly, Alice Wahome was saying that a church wanted to invite William Ruto, but the State House team hacked the program, and President Uhuru Kenyatta was the guest of honor. So, to this effect, this shows you that the state can easily manipulate, and that is what that clergy was saying there. Then, lastly, spiritualization of this politics may not supersede tribal, party, and or ideological consciousness. Many people on August 9th, they're only, not even on August, we're taking it far. It is just on Sunday, the very moment, the hour, the minute the politician is in charge, that they are holier than thou and they are really feeling happy of what the politician is saying and all that. But whatever is, when they step out of that, they put on the reality gown. The reality gown is, I represent this, I am from this party. 2, I am from this tribe. 3, ideological consciousness. Because if this would not be the case, then we will say that Kenya Kwanza are going to sweep the whole of central Kenya and the whole of Western, because their entry point was the church. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold. But would you also feel like it's disturbing, for a bit uncomfortable, for the church to play an active role in politics, or rather taking sides?